Oh, got. There we go. All right,
There we
welcome
go.
to the Pit Wall Panic podcast. This week we have everybody here for the first time in quite a while. It feels like. So it should be a good episode. Should be a lot of fun. A lot of good stuff going on this week. We got a lot of news to discuss amongst the three of us since it's been so long since we've all been together in the same place. Um, Before we get into that, though, if you are finding us on TikTok, please leave a follow. If you're seeing us on YouTube, give us a subscribe. And if you want to come hang out with us, you can come hang out on Discord. Uh, TikTok will not let me add a link until we hit 1,000 followers. So if you're on TikTok and want to join the Discord, just send me a DM and I'll send you the link. If you're finding us on YouTube, it's linked there on the YouTube. That being said, let's get into the madness that has not really been silly season. It doesn't feel like this season. Are y'all? Do y'all feel underwhelmed by the silly season that we expected the midseason break to be?
No. Yes. Always.
Like I just expected more to happen. What do y'all think? Am I just like expecting too much?
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone's expecting too much.
Because like
Most of these drivers were basically saying that no one wants to really swap seats this season just because of new regulations.
yeah, I kind of feel like uh the media got our hopes up with Mando. I feel like media got our hopes up with Carlos Sainz, which supposedly he's still hesitant, according to rumors, to stay at Williams. And I don't know that I blame him. And I got questions dealing with that also. But, like, James Vowles promised him all this greatness that Williams was supposed to be. They didn't work on the chassis to prepare for 26. And the car they didn't work on was better than the car they spent the whole season building. Make that make sense. What you thinking, SJ? Because you quiet right now.
Oh mate, you've heard my take on this quite a lot. I think like you've nailed it on the head. James Vowles promised him something, he's not delivered. I think it's a no-brainer. He leaves Williams.
But win.
Obviously Audi are doing a lot better. Huh?
But win. Because
When
he's.
well, to be honest with you, like you said, like what I forgot what his name was. He said that it was a bit overwhelming, not really anything been doing. He's obviously procrastinating about doing it. I think deep down, I think it's his brother will turn around and tell him to leave. I think because he has a lot of say where he goes.
I
He
think
had a
it's
lot of
his
say
cousin.
last time when they were his cousin or something. I think it is. He listens to him quite a lot, and he'll probably be a big voice for him. Make a decision. I think obviously he'll see the season out, and then obviously he'll make a decision. But I think the other guy, what he said was right. It's been a bit not really been too much. It's been died down a little bit on Max, what he's doing. Toto's turned around and said he will change things if he needs to with Mercedes, which is quite an interesting topic. There's 8 drivers that have got seats for next season, as far as I'm aware, which is not that many really compared to 22 on the grid. But yeah, if I was him, I'd go. You know, um, he's not been. He's the car's not there. The team are not a top 3, top 5 championship team. They're way off it. It'll be interesting to see what upgrades they do bring into the next race in Zandvoort. But yeah, if I was Science, I would go. But then again, if you got that team camaraderie that he's got with Albon, then would he give it another season to see if anything
What?
changes? But the thing is if you do that, it's another season. If it's another poor results, it puts a bit of a doubt in your head. And I think Signs is that type of driver that he wants to score points. He wants to battle with the guys at the top. Can he do that in Audi? I don't know.
I think he'd have a better
Can
chance in an Audi than he does a Williams.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Yeah, without a doubt. Williams is the bottom half. Like if you're looking at all the teams this season, they're nowhere near V Cub.
I'm about to.
They're nowhere near Audi. They're battling Aston and Cadillac and Haas,
I
which
think
is
we're about
terrible.
to make Alan mad here. I think that there is a possibility that Aston Martin passes Williams this season.
Aston Martin, what?
Might pass Williams.
Well, fucking from what we saw last time, they went from 3.5 seconds to 1.6 seconds behind everyone else. So there is progress. Yeah,
Now, if they could just get a solid
miraculously.
engine.
Well, the thing is when you have 13, 16 upgrades in the car, the problem is you've got more things to go wrong. But for some reason,
Everything went right.
Alonso's car didn't. Everything went right for Alonso. Everything went wrong for Stroll.
Stroll took P13.
So
What do you mean?
Ooh.
yeah, well, everything still goes wrong for him anyway. But
That's not a car's issue, though.
it's the other thing is the big risk though, isn't it? You take that many upgrades to a car, and like I said, everything you got more things to go wrong. But could we now start seeing the life of the Aston Martin come back up? Is it too late? Do they still have a lot of races? Yes, still got plenty of races, but it's going to be very interesting to see what they can do moving forward if they get any
What?
more upgrades to
No,
that
this
car.
should be blocking it.
Well, also,
Yeah.
let's look real quick. Williams only has 11 points, so they're only 10 points ahead of Aston Martin. They still have, what, 12 races, 13 races in the season? So if Aston Martin simply just scores at least one driver every single race, and Williams does not score any points, which is very possible, they end up passing them by the end of the season. Just saying. It's mathematically possible with the bare minimum.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if y'all saw this or not. Honda was sitting here saying we're going to have this big engine, we're going to have these great things happen, and then, whoops, we're not going to get the performance that we expected. Did y'all see that?
Typical.
It is typical. It is typical Aston Martin. Not Aston Martin, but Honda. I think it is a situation to where Honda might not get it right at Zandvoort, but give it a couple weeks, and Honda's gonna have this thing dialed in.
I don't think they're gonna get it right at all.
You don't think so?
No, I agree with Alan.
They get a second engine upgrade this season. Just saying.
Fucking 10 races.
Yeah, like
No.
they couldn't get it right in the first half with what they had. You're basically starting over with a whole new car for another half season.
That's
You're not
fair.
going to get it right.
But it's so much better now. You can't argue like they actually were potentially fighting for points. So I'm just saying.
Too late though.
But that
This is too late. You're playing catch up. Like,
yeah.
Every other team is every other team's formed. Every other team is bringing new upgrades to the rear wing, to the aero, to everything. You know, they're fucking bringing that race
mathematically,
engine to keep up.
Williams has done nothing though. They're ahead of Cadillac. But Williams
you could argue that like that race with Aston Martin's upgrades was a one-off.
Yeah, until we see what happens at Zandvoort, we won't really know. If
not even Zandvoort, like because again,
give it 3 races.
Yeah, that's fair.
3 races.
That's fair. But and I'm not now. Let me clarify. I'm not saying they're going to all of a sudden be fighting Alpine and V-Carb for best of the rest. I just think that they could possibly pass Williams. They can possibly pass Audi, and the way Haas is going, it's a possibility they could take a fight to Haas.
Oh yeah, without doubt. I think Audi, no. But to be honest, you're talking about Cadillac. A fucking Mini Cooper would be better than fucking Cadillac.
Hold on. At
least the Mini Cooper would finish the race.
No. Hang on. My argument is Cadillac gets a pass. All right. It's first season.
How?
It's the first season.
Oh, you can't give it that shit.
It's the first season. It's the first season, and they've already had to fire the TP. I'm just saying.
Haas had the first season, and they've done fucking better. Like that.
In Haas's first season,
there's
they
no
took
reliability. There's
just
no
saying-
reliability on
Well,
that
it is
car.
a
How many
it's
times
an
is that
American
gonna
car. What
catch
do you
the line?
expect?
Okay, no. Let's
I'm the
let's fix this. There is reliability.
I'm the TP.
Their issue is brake cooling
I'm-
because they won't stop catching the brakes on
I'm the
fire.
TP. I'm the TP of Cadillac in my league, right? And I'm doing fucking better than them, right? And that's like something. It's just there's no reliability. Like they've signed Bottas and Perez for next season, and it's like it's just like taking two people out of retirement home and putting them in a fucking unreliable car.
Did they?
That's how I look at it.
I'd argue it otherwise for Perez. Bottas for sure.
I don't really know about
They're both
Bottas.
no. They're old. They're not like Perez is like Perez had his time at Red Bull.
Okay,
Right?
but who
He's had his
else are you
time.
going to put in the car?
You put a fucking young guy in.
Who?
Put a guy in with conviction. Fucking anyone.
The guy they had lined up is
I ain't
apparently
gonna lie.
dropped
I'd
the ball.
argue even Yuki might be a better option at this point.
Hey, let's not
Well,
take
just
shots at
someone
Yuki.
young and
I want Yuki to go
conviction.
to a better
You're
place.
putting someone in that needs a fucking Zimmer frame. Do you know what I mean? Like they're old hat now. Like we need fresh meat. That's what you got to do. You got to develop. You know, we've said so many times about like V Cup being the junior team. I don't think they're the junior team no more. They're their own team. They've proven it this season with Lindlad and Lawson. They've got two very, very good drivers. They're very consistent, scoring points. Cadillac have got a lot of money. It's going to take them probably another second season to get into Formula One to understand it. This is a write-off. Yeah, this is just basically participation on the track. They're not scoring points, and there's fucking 10 cars DNF, and they got an opportunity.
That's
right?
what
But
that's
they're
what Haas
bringing in
is.
two drivers but they've got experience. Don't get me wrong. They've got years and years and years and years and races and wins of experience, right? But that was back in the day. When was the last time Bottas scored any fucking points?
But also, let's not forget who Cadillac is in racing. Cadillac is not a nobody in racing. They are now new to F1, so it's just taking them time to get their feet under them. But Cadillac is not a nobody in motorsport. Let's keep that in mind.
No, I'm 100%. But the thing is like when you say in motorsport, right? We're talking V8s, we're talking NASCARs, we're talking American sports. Fair enough. Formula One is a different beast. These cars cost £18 million each. They have changed the regs, they've changed the performances. Everything has changed. It is
And I
not the
get that.
same as it used to be, right? And
I
it's going to
understand
take
that.
them time. And it's the same. It's the same with Haas. Haas in their first season had one chassis. That's why Mick Schumacher was a death sentence because every time they had to be careful because they only had one chassis. You know, he ripped the fucking car off in Monaco in half, right? And they struggled because they didn't have another chassis. So they had seasons and seasons to go to spend more money, to have more money, to then have that second chassis. The same thing with Cadillac. They've got the money, but they just don't have the expertise within the sport. You know, within F1. Yes, in other sports, 100%.
Here's the thing about what you're
Do
talking
you
about.
think, Alan?
No, I agree with you.
Is it Alan? His name?
Yeah, Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like
what
a
do you
deer in
think?
headlights.
No. Well, okay,
sorry.
because I don't really know anything about Cadillac outside of F1.
They are one of
So,
the top
Neither do I.
WEC teams. If I'm not mistaken, they're in WEC, and they do really well in WEC.
It's fucking wick though. With the encyclopedia of chitin now, but it's not the same.
I know. I agree with that.
not
I agree
the
with that. But here's what I'm saying: is you're talking about how the engines are different. They just came out and said that then the next regulation, we're going away from energy completely. We're going back to complete combustion engines.
No, I don't think they said completely. I think it's a 90-10 split.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it's like 90-10.
Everything I saw was straight combustion. If I could spell combustion right, we'll be doing great.
I don't
Apparently
know. I'm not for it personally. I think it needs to be fresh meat. I think it needs to put new people in it and give them the opportunity and let them push and show the conviction. Like a younger driver that's coming into the sport, coming into F1, is going to show a lot more than Valtteri and Perez. Yes, they've got experience, and that is what that loves them above the rest. But they're not showing anything.
So to
Perez has got
clarify,
a car that sounds fucking reliable. Well, I don't think so. I would bring in like one of the guys that win the F2
Okay,
or something like that. They done it with that.
you can't
Why
do any
not?
worse. So I mean, I can understand that argument. And to clarify what I've apparently misunderstood before, it's not that it is a guarantee that it is going back to complete combustion. There is a discussion to remove all hybrid elements and make it just sustainable fuels. That discussion is being had.
I don't necessarily think that they should get away from hybrid altogether, but definitely reduce it significantly.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous right now. This is not in the slightest. I think that if you're gonna have any, it needs to be like 90-10, at most 80-20.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're borderline Formula E at that point.
Don't get me wrong. Fuck what everyone else says. I enjoy the racing this season.
Oh, it's been great.
But
do you really?
I have enjoyed it.
Shit, it's better than last year. Last year it was everyone waits until the DRS and then pass.
I mean, that's fair.
That's it. That's all last year was.
That's kind of valid, honestly.
But this season it's just about who's got the most battery. That's all it is.
That's also fair. They need to find that balance.
There's no fucking overtake. There's no skill to it. It's like, oh, let's just drain all of our battery, and the guy behind you just watches what you do, gives it a couple of laps, then watches what your technique is, and then goes the opposite, and then fucking beats you.
There has to be a
At least
balance.
there's more battling in corners.
That's fair too, because Charles and Lewis, Charles and Lewis.
Oh yeah, no, Charles and Lewis are going at it.
They've been putting on a clinic all season. I'm just saying, they've been putting on a clinic.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Now,
I think it's a bit stupidity in some aspects of it though. But yeah.
Now, while we're talking about last season and this season, something that has been driving me nuts. So I wanted to discuss this with you two, and y'all have not been on the last 2 weeks, so I've been holding on to this.
Oh.
It's been itching the bits.
Yeah, it really is.
How many people, like, what do y'all think about these people that are like, oh, Max almost brought it back last season, he can do it this season? In my opinion, you're just delusional Max Verstappen fans. I like Max, don't get me wrong. As he's got older, I've liked him more. He's not bringing this back. There's a component that people are forgetting, that last season, Lando and Oscar were going head-to-head and battling every weekend for the win. It was not just one of them running away with it. So far this season, it's been Kimi running away, with the exception of 2 or 3 races, and George being 4th, 5th, or 6th. So we don't have the same points battle that you had between the two teammates last season, and even Lewis, who's in 2nd, hasn't been consistently giving Kimi that battle. So how is Max going to scrap out extra points while you have them skirmishing? It's just not going to happen. It's a different dynamic this season. That's my opinion. I don't know what y'all think.
No, I agree. But like on that same thing, it's like you don't have McLaren fucking up strategies for the drivers.
That's true
give
too.
Max the chance of catching back up. So like, because Kimi is so clear ahead of George in races, there's no like confusion about their strategy. It's Kimi first. Or like it's all very straightforward for them.
What do you think, SJ?
How long you got?
Go.
I don't agree. I do believe. I think you can't underestimate him.
You're delusional.
You cannot underestimate. No, you're delusional. You cannot underestimate him. Like last season, it was a big fuck up from McLaren. I've said so many times before, they should have just pulled away with it. They should have made one driver 1 and one driver number 2, but they couldn't. They both had 2 drivers that were driver number 1, and they couldn't make a decision, and that caused a bit of a ruckus in the garage with strategies and calls, and McLaren fucked it all up, and they should never have pulled that. He should never been able to pull that gap. This season, I do agree, it is a lot more different, but the unreliability issues that Mercedes have had.
Now that yes, I can understand that.
Ferrari have been quick in some tracks. Max has been quick with a shit car still. So Yeah, I don't know. And George
I,
Russell hasn't really had the best performances last week. People keep saying it's sabotage from Antonelli. I don't know if it is. I think, each car is different to each driver. You can't say it's the same. Yes, it's the same with all the dynamics and all the performance and everything like that, 100%. But the setup's different. They probably run different wings, different whatever. So Max
I,
can drive a shit car and put a podium. And that's what you've got to remember.
Here's one of my big issues with your argument is the reliability Mercedes has had. What has Red Bull had? I mean, they've had 2 races this season back to back where the wing didn't close properly and needed Max off track. So we can't sit here and say, well, Mercedes' reliability is what's going to bring him back in. Well, Red Bull's been having their own reliability issues.
I'd say it's as in a whole.
If anybody is going to take the championship from Kimi, it's going to be Lewis.
No, we're like, honestly, you are fucking swinging from the clouds, mate.
How?
You seriously think like you say Max fans are deluded, Lewis Hamilton fans are deluded because he's with Kim Kardashian and he's having a fucking good time, right? Doesn't mean that he's going to win a fucking championship. Yes, he's in good form. This is the best we've seen Lewis race.
I did not say he was going to win. I said if anybody was going to be Kimi, it's him.
The car is still not quicker than the Mercs. It's just not, and it's shown that.
At the end of the day, I still think Kimi wins the title. I think that Ferrari and why are you scratching your head? Oh, I thought you had a ratchet.
My head itches. What do you mean?
I thought you had a ratchet.
Well, honestly, I'm going to hear what Alan's got to say because like people think because Lewis has got a few podiums, he's going to win the championship, and he's saying that Lewis is fucking better than Max. Max drives a shit car and puts a P3. Lewis drives a shit car and complains that he's got no speed.
Well,
complete difference.
Max complains about everything. Lewis complains about everything. They're both whiners.
Yeah.
My only thing about Lewis potentially being able to win is Ferrari's reliability. They've probably had the most reliable car this season.
100%.
100%.
As far as George's goes, like his chances, I don't think the whole thing is sabotage. I think on that end, it's favoritism.
I agree with that. I think there is some favoritism going on, but I don't think it's sabotage.
There's not some. There's a lot. George has complained about his car multiple times, and they refused to listen to him. And Toto himself, as a team principal, came out and said that he needs to drive the car instead of complaining. And it's like, dude, you're throwing your driver under the bus just for weeks later to come out that there was a problem with his car, and y'all addressed it that way.
So what you're saying is he's getting Sergio Perez treatment.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed. I do agree with that, but then I also do agree that, like, even though you're saying Lewis, but Lewis complains, so does Max, yes, but Lewis complains, but doesn't, like, goes, oh, I haven't got no more speed. Max goes, this car's shit, but I'm going to fucking still push it and puts it on podium.
But here's
Lewis
the
complains
thing.
Here's
the thing, though. Lewis still ends up on he might complain, but he still pushes the car, and he still ends up on the podium.
Yeah, he does, but they're two different drivers. They're very, very different on how they aspect of driving. If you want to talk about fucking underdogs, you've got to talk about McLaren. McLaren need to be of this conversation because
Charles has a better chance than McLaren. Charles has a better chance than either McLaren.
No, I don't agree.
I don't think Charles is winning.
McLaren,
but neither is McLaren.
If McLaren come back from this summer break with how they drove in Hungary, they're going to be a force to reckon with. Because
I think it's too far back. I think he's too far back now.
No, I don't.
It's the same concept as saying Max is going to come back. All right, y'all gonna make me pull up the standings.
Lando,
I'm looking at the standings right now.
Lando was fast at Hungary, man. Like literally, Lando was back to his best, and he had a good car.
Lando's almost 100 points back right now.
Hey,
Max Verstappen was 146.
Yeah, you can't make the points argument now.
Okay, we just established how that's different this season compared to last season, though. We can't sit here and say, "Oh, it's different for Max this season."
It's the same in any sport, though.
Oh,
it's the same. I'm a big football fan. Right? I'm a big Arsenal fan, right? We were told we were going to bottle it, right? Again, last season. We won the Premier League after 22 years. Sport is a funny thing, man. If Antonelli fucking bins it, 25 points lost. If he has a fault, 25 points lost. There is so many opportunity, and with rumors of being another track added on to the calendar this season as well, with the likes of maybe Qatar happening, then there's it's still too many races to go with sprint opportunities there as well. Yes, you would say at the moment Antonelli is in the driving seat, but the way that things have gone this season, no one is in the driving seat. Only the person at the front is in the driving seat, but anything can change, and we've
Okay,
seen it.
so
We've seen the comeback.
to clarify my take, I think Kimi wins. I think Ferrari challenges for the constructors because of where you talked about that reliability. Ferrari's had the better reliability, and arguably, you're going to see a better chance of two Ferraris ahead of George, making this easier to potentially bring them back in it. And they're close enough. It's very possible. It just takes a couple DNFs and they're cooked. I mean, they're only 72 points behind Mercedes. So I think we see a potential shakeup there, but I think Kimi ends up winning the Drivers' Championship.
I don't think Kimi wins it personally.
I think if
I
he
don't-
loses
I
it,
don't
it's his
either.
I'm
lack
really
of
gonna-
experience.
Yeah,
I'm going.
We saw it
I'm
last
going on
year.
that.
The back half of the season, he didn't do great.
No, the back half is where he started doing good at. The front half, he struggled.
Motherfucker, what?
If I remember correctly,
It's a big risk.
I might be getting stuff
It's
mixed
a
up.
big vocal point. It's a big vocal point to say that, and he's not going to win it. But I don't think he will. I think he's too arrogant. I think he, in some races he's been too arrogant, and I think his lack of experience will make him lose it because he gets into situations where he just needs to drive the car, he needs to calm down, but he doesn't. He gets very irate. He's got a very good engineer, and I think he needs to listen to him more. And I think if he learns that, he'll win it hands down. If he doesn't, then he'll fall over his own feet
Yeah.
because the
Um,
guys in front with Russell, who's experienced, Hamilton's experienced, Charles is experienced, and like you said, with reliability issues, with no reliability issues really with Ferrari apart from just speed and pace. I think they're going to be ones to watch out for, and the way the McLaren have been in the last few races, unfortunately with Piastri, I think Lando is an underdog at the moment because I
agree.
think that car is not that far off the Mercedes. I don't think now. I think they get a couple more upgrades, get a bit more reliable, and I think they'll be up there. And you'll see McLaren fighting Mercedes and Red Bull and maybe the last 7 races.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, real quick, I was not completely wrong. So starting at the Netherlands, since that's where we're picking up at, and it's basically the same thing for last half as last season. He took 16th, but he had the accident with Charles that should have been avoided. And I think he learned a lot to avoid stuff after the crap that happened in Canada with George. And we've seen him race a lot more conservative now in those regards. Then Italy, he took 9th, which I think that's Monza. Yeah, that's Monza, because I don't think Imola's on the calendar. So he could improve there. But then Baku, he took 4th place. If he is driving at the rate that we know he can, he'll probably win Baku. Singapore, he took 5th place. Again, he's in much better form than he was last year, so he could very well win that. I'm thinking it says United States, so I think it's Texas. He took 13th. I don't know what happened there. Then Mexico 6th, Brazil he took 2nd, Vegas he took 3rd, Qatar he took 5th, then 15th at Abu Dhabi. So I mean the last half of the season for him last year was not a weak part of the season. He went 4th, 6th, 6th, 11th, 6th, DNF, 18th, DNF, 3rd, DNF, 16th, 10th for the first part of the season last year. So he was doing that.
And what was Max?
I don't even know, but that's not the point. That's not the point I'm making.
P2, P1, 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 P3, P2, P1, P3. Probably.
I get that. I understand what
There's
you're
a lot
saying.
of that.
What I am saying
Yeah,
is,
that's what I mean.
what I'm saying is, if we're
Like,
comparing,
he's deluded. He's talking about us being deluded. He's deluded. If you don't think Max can pull down a 100-point gap, how far is he away from Anthony?
that's not my point. My point was is that he was stronger in the second half of the season last year, and y'all are saying he wasn't. When if you look, he clearly was. And we're going into the second half of the season.
Different season. Different season. Completely
Same
different season.
tracks.
These cars are so fucking unreliable, mate. Seriously, you don't know. 1 week they're gonna work, or 1 week they're gonna break. You just don't know.
No, I agree. I agree with the reliability issue. Take reliability out of the window and just do his experience and his driving. If he is consistently strong in the second half, like he was last season, As long as the car does not fail him, Kimi's locked in. I don't see
Hey,
him.
so that's
Well,
not
depends.
consistently
Depends where
strong, by the
people
way.
finish. Depends where people finish behind. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
He
I guess
finishes
that's
fifth
true.
and Russell gets first. He finishes 11th and Russell gets first. That's 50 points Russell's gained on him. And he's gained, what, how many points for fifth?
I don't know. Are you saying how many points do you get for fifth?
How many points do you get for finishing P5? Yeah,
10.
10. So he gets 10 points. So then Russell wins both races. He gets 50 points to
That's a
Anthony's 10.
40-point swing. Yeah.
That's a 40-point gain, bro. That's a lot of points. And he finishes 11th. That's no points.
I
Do you
just
know what I mean? And I don't think the other thing is as well, like Russell's not going to go into the second half of the season going, "Oh, feel sorry for me." He's going to want to prove himself and push himself as
but
well because
then he's still fighting the same
he's in the
favoritism.
opportunity of a championship. Yeah, but he's in the championship. Well, you're fighting that in McLaren. You're fighting that in Red Bull. You're fighting that in a lot of other teams. They're always going to have a driver number one. You know, and it's like we've always said this when you go to Red Bull. You are in the shadow of Max Verstappen. He is a 4-time world champion, right? And he's not done it. He's done it easy, but he's bloody done it difficult as well. And the thing is, Antonelli is young. He's got a massive opportunity to be probably the youngest Formula One champion ever. So he's got a lot rolling on his coattails as well. But he's also got a very experienced driver in George Russell, who was known for his start in Williams, known for his reserve race in Mercedes, and has got the potential to be a world champion. Same as Lewis Hamilton. How many championships he's won? Same as Charles is fighting for it as well. So you're not battling against just mediocre
And I
drivers,
understand
and
that.
it is going to be done. It's going to be down to reliability.
I'm just saying.
I believe there is going to be more issues with Mercedes this season.
I'm just saying
Still.
that we talk about the fact that it was much easier for Max last season because of the things that were going in his favor between the screw ups and decisions making by McLaren, based off the fact that you had two drivers fighting each other every single weekend and you don't have that now. It's going to be harder for anybody to catch Kimi this season than it was to catch Lando or Oscar last season.
Yes and no. It's a 50-50. It depends on, not with the issues last season with obviously who's driver number one and whatever, but it's reliability. You know, look at Max in Hungary.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You know, like
I get that.
wasn't even P. Where did he start?
I don't know.
P6,
Something like that.
P4, P6.
Let me look real quick and I'll tell you.
You know, and then he keeps making mistakes with track limits. That's a big problem. And he got done. Big time.
He's hanging it in there where he
in the
needs
Hungary
to
race?
and not getting track
nah.
limits penalties.
Nah, it's like every race they tell him that he's on like his last. Track
It's
penalty.
a problem.
But does he get a 5-second
It's a
for it?
problem.
That's not the point though. It shouldn't like at that point you shouldn't be.
No, I
getting
agree.
that
You
many
shouldn't be
track
pushing
Doing it
penalties.
every
it.
fucking week. He's doing it every week.
All right, so in Hungary,
And
Max.
Russell overtook 10 cars as well. Remember at Hungary when you can't overtake it at Hungary.
Max qualified P6 and then finished.
Yeah, and when he finished P2.
P2.
Yeah, there you go. At Hungary. So his strategy worked a treat. He went on the better tires. You know, so there's
But also,
don't underestimate Max Verstappen.
Kimi did. Yeah, granted, Max started behind him. Kimi did start P4, so it's not like what we've seen all season. I think the issue that Hungary brings up and shows us that if Kimi doesn't start P1 or P2, he has a much harder time coming back.
Yep.
And he has to fix that because you can't qualify on pole every single weekend. It's just not going to happen.
Yep.
Whether it's reliability issues, whether it's track conditions, all you need in qualifying is one solid lap. So there's no way that you can guarantee that you're going to qualify on pole P1 every single weekend. He has to learn to be able to drive it back. But if he gets better there, I don't see how people are going to beat Kimi.
The car is better. The car is the best car on the grid, without a doubt. and that's the problem that the other guys face. Now, to catch up to them, they've got to nail the upgrades. And I think McLaren are not far off that. So I think if McLaren get it right, then they'll be fighting Mercedes. And we've seen that the only reason he finished, I think, P3 is because of Piastri. So that was down to default, Otherwise, he was finishing in P4, which would have been less points. And George Russell, what a drive he had. The guy where he started, everything that went wrong at the beginning, he anti-stalled it. He overtook 10 cars within the space of 5 laps, and was up there. And the only reason he didn't get a good finish to the top is because he couldn't. It's Hungary,
but-
and he fucked it up. So,
But that's
I don't know.
one race. So let's look at George real quick, right? Since we're focusing on George. George took 7th at Hungary. He DNF'd Belgium. He took 2nd in a very, very questionable race at Silverstone, because if Lewis and Lando don't pit, George takes 4th there. If we go back to racing, both of them passed George. And we were supposed to go back to racing. They were going to have so much better tires, though. And they were going to be on softs. He was on worn hards.
Yeah, Canada, he would have won it.
Canada, he would have won, but there was reliability issues. He won Austria.
Hungary, they fucked his car. That's why he qualified so low.
Took 2nd at Barcelona. P12 at Monaco, which was not a lot of his fault. Canada, he blew the engine.
There was another race where on one of his stints, Mercedes didn't adjust his wing.
That's Lewis. It keeps happening.
No. It happened to George too. They didn't adjust his wing, and it fucked his whole second stint up.
Was it Miami? Miami, he took P4. Then Japan. No, it might have been Japan. He had some issues in Japan. He took 4th place there. In China, it was 2nd place, and Australia, he won. So, I mean, I don't know.
No, it was Barcelona.
Barcelona?
Yeah.
I also question how much of that was him just making up excuses because he got passed by Kimi again.
The other big question.
No. It was a malfunctioning adjuster gun during the final pit stop.
The other big question is, if you're a betting man, this is going to be a funny one. If you're a betting man, what do you reckon Lewis gets another penalty?
Oh my gosh.
Fucking God, bro.
He's going to get
He's
another one.
so fucking bad.
It's not even his fault on some of the stuff, I don't feel like.
It's a penalty every fucking week.
But it's not necessarily his fault.
My car or house on it that man gets another penalty.
I'll put money on it that he gets another one.
Here's the reason I say it's not completely his fault.
If you're a betting person.
It is example.
You're a really, really Lewis Hamilton fan, aren't you?
No, I'm a Charles
How is it
Leclerc
not
fan.
his fault?
I'm not
Speeding
saying
in the pit lane.
No, that is his fault.
No. Speeding in the pit lane at
or
you're talking about
some of them. I'm not saying all of them, and I'm also more of a Charles Leclerc fan.
Going too early on the grid straight. That's not your fault.
No. Hear me out. The Monaco one, not
you can't
really.
Justify it.
Homie,
Titan.
let me
you
finish. So you have Monaco that everybody and their brother was getting speeding penalties because of their bullcrap software. The unsafe release, I don't believe was his fault. He got a green light, and that was somebody else that presses the button's fault. They should have seen the guy was not out of the way. That's not on Lewis. In my opinion. He's watching the lights. The lights go green, you're going to hit the gas pedal. That's just how racing works. Now, the other ones, I agree. He shouldn't be getting all the speeding in the pit lanes.
No.
Why should the team principal be fucking starting the car and organising that's your responsibility. You're at the grid straight. You should be fucking going green, not the fucking guy in the bloody pit lane box.
I'm saying that if you're going for a pit stop and they're going to adjust something and you're watching the lights and you feel the car drop and you see the lights go green for you to leave the pit box, you're going to hit the gas pedal. So whoever told him safe release, what?
This is on the grid straight. He got a penalty because
I understand that. I'm saying the penalty is not on him for the unsafe pit release when he ran over the mechanic that was not his fault because he should never have got the green light to go yet. You're watching the lights
Yeah, I'm
as a
not talking
driver.
about that one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was talking about.
I'm
I'm
not talking
saying
about
that one and Monaco specifically were not his faults. Now, the other ones, yes, those are all his fault. I'm just saying some of this is not his fault.
I don't know. Spa and the George incident, he should have never gotten a penalty for that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that also. Some of it's also the FIA. The FIA has been
Yeah.
a little whack on
I
the
love
penalties
it. I
this
love it.
season.
The exit of the pit lane where he pressed the button just a tad early is 100% his fault. You've been doing this for years. Like you got anxious because you saw Kimi and you wanted to make it to that the establishment line or whatever first.
I just think as a whole this
And that's why he
season,
won't
though,
win.
the FIA has been an issue. And that's for every driver. That's
Yes.
not just Lewis. That's everybody. The FIA has been an issue all season.
Oh yeah.
And you think Lewis Hamilton's going to win a title this season?
But then you're
Yes.
sitting here talking about the fact that Kimi's pushing track limits and he's in the driver's seat right now. Just saying.
My
can't have it both
delusion
ways.
says yes.
No, Alan, no, you're fucking far off it, mate. Like he is not with his inconsistency. He's getting a penalty every race, like a ratio of like 6 races. He's got 6 penalties, which have
And
dropped
where
him
is he finishing?
out of the points.
And where is he finishing? Hold
Between
on.
6th and 3rd every week.
Results. Let's pull up race results, okay?
Listen,
Hungary. Okay, no,
I'm
that
still
wasn't a good race.
delusional. So
We're not talking about that one. Belgium.
How many races has Hamilton won this season, boys?
One, but how many races has
one.
anybody
Hey, but
won
guess
other
what?
than
He's
Kimi?
still in second.
How many? How many's he won?
How many races has Max won this season?
I don't know, actually.
None.
None.
None. And your argument is that Max can come back and win the championship, but then your argument is Lewis can't because he only has one win. So
Max is a better driver than Lewis Hamilton, mate.
he's a 7-time champion.
Yeah,
What do you
Max is
mean?
also like 8 years younger.
He's 8 years younger. Oh, we're gonna go. This is gonna be a debate podcast. I've said this all the way along, right? I've said this, and I will go by right. Abu Dhabi. Since that has happened, Lewis Hamilton will never win a Formula One
You are
championship
out of
ever
your
again.
mind.
Formula One, because the reasons why that done a number on him, big time.
I do
Mentally,
agree.
physically, everything. And I think he doesn't have the mentality. He's too old. He's got enough money. He doesn't need to do the sport really. He's got his extreme sports. He everything else is going. He's signed the multi-million deal with Ferrari. It's everyone's dream to win in the Ferrari. I just can't see it. I can't see
Okay,
it. I'm
now
sorry to say, I can't see it, and I don't think it will happen. And I think that's it.
But
for
then
Lewis.
also,
I think
Max
he'll
does
drive,
not
he'll do
care.
well, but he won't win. No, it's
he
the same. It's the same. But I don't think if nothing changes, I don't think we'll see Max in the sport next season.
But stuff's already supposed to be changing,
That's my-
so I don't know.
I don't think unless there's going to be big changes and he can see the development and he can see the project that F1 are doing, he won't stay because he's already got involved in Le Mans GT and he's already got his other things going on. And when they do that, they go elsewhere, and we've seen it. And I just personally, since Abu Dhabi, I don't think Lewis will win a championship ever. I think he'll retire at Ferrari and that will be it. Don't think he'll
now
win a championship.
hang
I
on.
know it's a
If
big
he
thing
wins
to say.
this year, you're gonna have to get on
Yep.
here and say I was wrong.
Yeah, sure, 100%. I will. But I honestly, I would put serious amounts of money on it if I had it. He won't win. He won't win a championship.
So you
ever
don't
again.
think
That's it.
Kimi's gonna win, and you don't think Lewis is gonna win, and you somehow think Max is.
No, I'm saying don't. I've never said that Max is going to win. Don't put words into my
That is
mouth,
fair.
mate.
He never
Okay,
said he
you're
would.
right. You're
I
right.
said don't underestimate Max Verstappen.
So then, who
and
do
I
you
said the
think is
underdog,
going to win?
I think and Nelly's in the driving seat, but I don't know if he will win due to his lack of experience. Because the way I've seen him race, he is a rabbit in the headlights when things go wrong. He does not know what to do. He just complains and complains and complains on the radio. He doesn't relax and drive the car that Toto's told him to do.
I
And if he
agree
can
with that.
grab that and he listens to that advice, then he'll win the championship. If he doesn't, he will fall over his own feet.
I still think, and I've
And
said this
it'll be
before.
someone close to it.
I've said this before. I think that Kimi is the next Lewis.
No.
No?
No. No.
Who else has got
No.
the skill to be that kind of greatness?
At the moment on the grid, no one apart from
Yeah.
Max. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I can kind of see that argument, but I think that if
I know that's a big thing to say, and I'd say the same thing with Charles. Charles won't win a championship either. Charles won't win. He's too inconsistent.
I disagree with that. I think
You know,
the Ferrari lets him
no,
down more than anything.
no,
Both of his DNFs
well, I
this
think he
season,
needs to leave the team.
both of his
I think he needs to leave the team.
both of his DNFs this season have been due to car failures. If he doesn't DNF, he is fighting for second place with Lewis right now.
They don't listen to him though.
They don't listen to Lewis
They
either.
don't listen to. They don't listen to Charles
They don't
at
listen
all.
to
They haven't done
anybody.
it for fucking years. When he was with teammates with Sainz at Monaco, what the hell was that? You know, they just don't listen and they fuck it up every time. And the way they drive as well, yes, it's great for the sport, but you should not be fucking fighting your fucking teammate, because the moment you do that, you bring everyone else into that battle. And if you're bringing a car which is far superior than you, you do not want to do that.
So
I'll go back to a race. I can't remember if it was a race, right? Charles was on fresher tyres than Antonelli, right? Fresher tyres by about 2 or 4 laps or something. And nearly overtook him. And he was on older tyres. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
I
you've
mean,
got the gap. I can't remember what track it was. Might have been Silverstone.
I think, but then you have the argument of, you look at people like Lewis and Nico Rosberg when they were racing together, and them battling the way they did pushed each other to be better. I'm just saying, there is sometimes a positive dynamic that comes from that. We can't have them, as you know, Ferrari can't have them battling so much that it harms your race, especially when you have somebody like Kimi who's running away every weekend. But it is a positive thing because I think it helps push them. Neither Charles nor Lewis wants to
not
lose.
within the first fucking 3 laps, man.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
No, it's just ridiculous. Like, and I've seen it time and time again, and they've nearly fucking come together. And just because of like how skillful they both are, don't get me wrong, they're teammates. But you take each other out, that's 2 teams out, and that's no points. And Ferrari need the points because they need to put the pressure on Mercedes. Now, if you're in that position, you basically go none fucking in every single fucking corner, slow down, slow them up behind, and bring that gap. And they did that last time with Charles, but then Charles just didn't have the pace in the car, even though he was on the fresh tyres, and Antonelli got past him. Now I'm looking at that thinking, you've got 6 laps to go, right, or 10 laps to go, right? You've got a 6-second lead, right? The car behind is your teammate. Slow him down, pull that gap, and let him try. But they didn't. They didn't. He just went straight past fucking Lewis, got into P2, and then also P3, and then overtook fucking Charles. And it's like, well, that was a waste of time.
Now here's something that I want to get in before the podcast is up meeting our time limit. We have seen that supposedly Toto said, "Oh, we're not going to use the ADUO this year." And then he came out and said, "Okay, yeah, we're going to use the ADUO and try to fix our reliability issues." If they are able to fix the reliability issues, what do you think happens for Kimi?
I think we all know.
I know. I just want him to say it.
Yeah, don't know too much about it, to be honest with you.
If they are able to fix the power unit's reliability issues, if anybody says Kimi's going to lose it, just is a hater and just wants Kimi to lose it at that point. Because, like you said, the biggest issue has been the reliability. What were you going to say, Alan?
I am a hater, and I don't want Kimi to win.
At least you're honest.
I'm not a hater. I like the guy. I was very subjective when he got the seat because I was like, well, what's he going to do? He's not won anything. He didn't win the F2 championship, and they took a risk and it's
And it's
pulled off.
paying
You
off.
know, and it has. They've taken an F2 driver from obviously Hadjar into Red Bull, and he's having a good season. He's been quicker than Max in a few areas. But I think if they get it all fixed, I think you can't underestimate George Russell
I don't.
either
I don't.
because
I
he's a
think George
phenomenal.
is
Uh,
George is too mentally gone at this
no,
point. I think.
I
no,
don't think he is.
got more experience. No, I think you're wrong.
Yeah, he
I
has
don't.
more
I
experience at
honestly, I
being
do.
P4 in the driver standings than anybody else.
Right, put it in this way, right? A lot of people said that Canada was great racing and George enjoyed it, right? With Antonelli behind him, right? But how many times did Antonelli nearly bin that car?
Okay, but how many times has George nearly been the car racing? That's part of racing also at the same time. You're pushing the car to
Not
the
putting
absolute.
pressure on someone and fucking
You're
not putting pressure on someone and driving like an absolute lunatic.
at the same time you're putting the car on the limit every single weekend. That's why these guys get paid the money they get paid, and that's why they're in the seats that they're in.
Yeah, true, but you're racing your teammate. You're not. If you're racing competitive, fair enough. But you're racing your teammate.
Who cares? You're both in the
What? Why?
drivers. You're both fighting for a title. Neither one of you have a title
Okay, you
yet.
take each other out. Then what? Then what are you going to say to your team principal? You go into the garage with two DNFs and about $250,000 worth of damage. What are you going to say then? Oh,
This
he's
is
my.
racing.
I'm still being competitive.
Racing
Yeah,
happens.
fair enough. But you got to take. You got
You're
to take a
forgetting.
little bit off the gas
You're forgetting
when it comes down to teammates.
who was the team principal when Nico and Lewis were battling it out all the time. Toto. Guess what he wanted? He wanted them to battle it out. So what's
Oh yeah,
different
some
now?
teams are different.
It's the same team principal with
That
the same team, just different drivers.
Yeah, his lack of experience in those moments. He is a rabbit in the headlights when it comes down to that. If he's putting pressure on you, he's going to force something which is either going to make him a mistake or put you in the wall.
Give him some benefit of the doubt.
It-
In the sprint
uh,
at Canada, he did that. In the Grand Prix, he learned from it and adapted. Kimi is a very adaptive driver. People just forget. They look at his age and they go, he's super unexperienced, and he's super young, and he's going to cause more accidents. But he's been learning, has he not?
yes, he has, but he also has a phenomenal car, which is actually probably
How does that
the
help his
stopping gap
driving
compared
style,
to
though?
everyone.
If he's being more
Don't,
cautious as
don't
a
act like
driver.
a better car doesn't make the driver look a little bit better.
No, it does. I agree with that. But if you're racing your teammate, like we're talking about, you're an equal machinery. You're both in the same car.
They're not equal though. They're not equal. None of those guys are equal, bro.
Either way, if you're learning, I need to back out here to stop an accident. It doesn't matter how good your car is. That's called driving, racecraft.
Yeah, 100%. You are in control of that car, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. His racecraft is getting better.
Yeah, it is getting better, but it's also he's making the same mistakes every week. But what I'm saying is I'm not a hater. I think Anthony has got a massive opportunity of winning it, and it'll be great for the sport because he's young, and yeah, he has got a lot to learn. But I think in those moments that he is in, he is a rabbit in the headlights, and you know, I know I'd give him his conviction for Spain. He wanted to drive the car even that was broken. It was dangerous. Do you know what I mean? And he wants to score points. He wants to do well for the team. But then sometimes you've just got to say, look, no, you're wrecking the car. We need it for next week. And stuff. And I think that will be the downfall if things go wrong. And the other drivers around him, like Charles, like Lewis, like Max, like George, have got that experience. They're a bit step ahead. And I think if he pulls that in, then yeah, he'll win the championship hands down. But I don't think at the moment of how I've seen him race this season, I think he'll come unstuck in a few more races down the line as well.
I just think this is Lewis and Nico 2.0. All right, now what are you thinking, Scale? You've been mighty quiet about this specific topic.
I agree, because he's in an early hate campaign.
Yeah. I hope
if I'm talking shit,
engine
Alan,
blows
you
up
tell
every
me, mate.
race.
Okay, but be realistic here. We know his engine's not going to blow up every single race.
But I hope it does.
No, but being honest, like, tell me if I'm talking shit. Like I'll listen.
I think it's a bit.
No,
That's my
no.
thoughts.
We have seen it that while yes, his racecraft and wheel to wheel has gotten better, it's also still relatively not great compared to everyone else.
Mm.
He's done things where he puts himself and other drivers in bad situations, and it's forced him to have to dive off track. He did it. What was it? When was it Canada when he was going against George? He went off track like 3 different times.
George pushed him off track, and then he
He done it in
lost the rear
Austria,
end
straight
and launched off
straight
track
on the first lap.
twice. Well, once, but
Austria twice.
yeah, he went off track twice in the sprint in Canada.
Yeah, but that's my
And in
point. Is
Austria.
like it's to the point that like yes, you're supposed to be battling for these points to win the championship and all that stuff, but you're also clearly over pushing your limits because you're going off track trying to make these moves that you shouldn't be trying to make.
I can
Yes.
understand that argument.
Agreed.
I just think that he's going to eventually settle down some at some point, and when he does, if it's this season, it's going to make him that much more dangerous. And
Oh, 100%. But we're six. We're how many races are we in?
technically
Well,
12. It's a 24 race season. Granted,
12.
we've had two
And
that were
have you seen him
canceled,
settle
the one
down?
that's come back. Mathematically, this season is very crazy and confusing.
Have you seen him settle down there
A
in those
little bit,
12
actually,
races?
yes. Actually, yes, a little
no,
bit.
no, actually you haven't because
what?
every race
What?
You haven't.
Bono has told him he needs to calm down.
And then he
has
does.
to
No, you
stop
haven't.
pushing.
That's it.
I'm talking
No,
like you
because
look
he's
at.
gone on to still put it in the fastest lap.
Did you not watch Canada? He learned from his mistake from the sprint going into the Grand Prix, and he calmed down a little bit in his racing.
Yeah, but it's 12 races in, and you're saying, oh yeah, you've seen it, but we're 12 races in, and
I'm not
it's still
saying
happening.
it's been a
Bono,
ton. I'm just saying it's happened some.
yeah, and that's what we're saying. We're saying he will come undone on that because he'll get into a situation where he'll have to keep cool, and he won't be able to.
Now that I can understand. I think he's gonna win it.
Honestly, there is more. Honestly, on the horizon, there is more issues going to happen to Mercedes. I'll put money on it.
Now, don't get me wrong. As a Ferrari fan, I really hope the car crashes and burns every week. Not necessarily burn because I don't want nobody to get hurt, but I really hope the engine
But I
blows
can
up and
tell you,
implodes
Ferrari,
every single week. That would
I
be
can tell you're a
lovely.
Ferrari fan with your. I can tell you're a Ferrari fan with your comments on Lewis Hamilton winning a fucking title, mate.
I
Jesus
still think
Christ.
it's possible. It's feasible.
It's like saying Chelsea Football Club are going to win the Premier League.
You're just a hater.
I'm not a hater. I'm not. I love Lewis Hamilton. I think he's a fantastic driver. But like I said, I don't think he is ever going to win a championship after Abu Dhabi. I think
Who's
that's it. I think that mentally that has done a number on him. And you
who's
can
in
see it.
P2?
You can
Who's in
see
P2 in drivers?
doesn't matter. He's in P2. He's got some formidable drivers behind him, and he doesn't have the car at the moment. McLaren are the second best team, I believe, on the grid at
You're
the moment.
delusional.
From what I've seen, from what I've seen at Hungary, they are nearly there.
You were out of your mind. They did that
No,
one
I'm not.
race. Where's the reliability been at for McLaren? What power unit are they running? Mercedes. What have you been saying the whole
Yep.
time has been Mercedes' big downfall? Reliability because of their power
Reliability.
unit.
Yeah.
They're running the same
Yeah.
power unit.
Yep, but there's different. They're different, though, aren't they? Every car's different.
Not on power units. You're a customer team. If anything, you're a step
Yeah, but
behind.
everyone's had issues. But what I'm
Except
just
for
saying
Ferrari.
is, I think McLaren are the underdogs at the moment. I really do. From what I've saw at
But you just said they're the second best car on the
Hungary.
grid.
Yeah, I think they are.
I mean, but the thing is, Ferrari are bringing some upgrades. They're bringing a floor upgrade to Zandvoort, and then in their turbo upgrade to Monza.
Yeah, and the next podcast I may change. I'll probably say Ferrari the best car. But at the moment, from what I've seen from the last race, McLaren are the second best car on the grid.
I just disagree. I think they had a good race in Hungary, like we've all mentioned multiple times. Hungary is a very hard track to pass. So if you can get to
We'll have that
position, it makes it a
conversation where
lot
Lando
easier.
finishes next week.
Yeah,
We'll have that conversation.
I can agree to
next week
that.
when Lando.
Let's have the conversation after Zandvoort. Was Hungary a fluke?
If
Oh,
Lando gets in front of Lewis, I'm gonna rip into you big time. All right.
I'm just saying, one weekend out of
how many races he's been super dominant. He was good in Miami and he was good at Hungary. How many races have we had this season? There's
A
been
lot, but Alan, I'm going to tell you something. This man, right, was having a conversation about Lewis having opportunity of winning the championship when we were, I think, 6 races in,
he still
and
has
he
a
got
chance.
a podium. Like seriously, stop swinging from
The chance
chandeliers,
is
mate.
still there. He's in second place in the drivers. It's not like he's mathematically
And how many
just
points
falling
is he
out.
behind?
He's closer
And how
than
many points is he
anybody else.
behind?
Oh, I
How many
can't
points is he
tonight.
behind?
50.
I can't tonight.
Yeah, that's still a chance. Still a chance, mate, but it's not going to happen.
I can't tonight. We're sitting here saying
Alan,
that you don't think Kimi's
Alan,
going to win,
do
but
you
then you're going to
think-
be like,
Do you think
I can't.
Lewis? No, I just don't think. I just don't. No. I don't care how many points it is. I just don't think he will. I don't know if you agree, Alan. You think Lewis Hamilton can win the championship?
Listen, I'm a little bit biased, but yeah, I think there's a
You do?
chance. I just don't know how big of a chance.
We're sitting here saying that Kimi's going to probably lose it because of his lack of experience. But the driver in second, who arguably has the most winning experience on the grid, doesn't have a shot.
There's no
was
arguably. He
10.
does. What do you mean?
Other than maybe
Like-
Fernando, because he's been a
No,
little longer.
what?
Not
Fernando's
winning.
got like
But not winning wise,
20
but I mean,
wins.
when I said arguably most winning, in my mind, I was just thinking arguably the most experience. But then you have Fernando that's right there with the same amount of experience. Actually, I think he has more experience as far as actual racing goes than Lewis, but Lewis is the most winningest driver. The point still stands.
Yeah.
We can't sit here and say that Kimi's probably going to lose it because of his lack of experience going into the second half of the season, and then say Lewis is out of it, even though he has the most experience out of any driver on the grid. You can't have it both ways.
I don't know. That's fair.
I'm not having it both ways. I'm just saying I don't think he'll win it. I really don't. I don't think. And I'm saying indefinitely. I don't think he'll win a championship in F1 again.
That's why I'm saying I can't, because we're sitting here saying Kimi's lack of experience is going to fail him, and then we're saying that Lewis doesn't have a shot, even though he has the experience.
Well, hold on. I'm not saying that.
Okay, yes, I know. I'm not saying. I'm just using that as general terms. Would you rather me?
Blame me?
Would you rather me finger point out SJ?
Antonelli is in the driving seat. We know that for a fact, right? But I still, there's a slight chance that if he doesn't get his act together, he will fall over his own feet and he could end up losing the championship. There is 10 races to go, right? Anything can happen in Formula One.
Except for
Anything can
apparently
happen.
Lewis winning.
We've seen. I don't think Lewis will win, and I'm going to say that with my heart on my sleeve. He will not win a championship ever again in F1, and I've said that for a long time since Abu Dhabi.
Just
And if you
disagree.
if I'm wrong,
hey,
then I'll own it.
I
I'll
was
put my
gonna say,
hands up. I'll own it. I'll
Statistically,
fucking do
you
a
are
full bet
right. Though.
challenge.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think he will.
Alan.
He's getting old. It's
Alan,
not long.
why
I
you
don't
do
think
this
it'll
to
be
me?
long before he retires. Huh?
He said that he's going to be in at least another 5 years.
Yeah, he says that, man. But like things change. Things change. Can you
But
see
nobody-
Fernando doing another season in Aston Martin?
Actually, yes, I see him being here for another season. Another 2 seasons, I
Listen.
don't know, but he'll be here for another season.
I'll say all the way to Max. I could see anyone in the top 6 still actually winning this season.
I can
Is
see
it
that
hard
argument.
for them? Yes.
Is it possible?
You
Yes.
don't
Is
know
it
because
probable?
every
No.
team- No, you just don't know because every team has got their own strengths and everything. You look at McLaren; they look strong. They've got some good upgrades. Yes, Piastri was a bit unfortunate. The gearbox issue, another fucking issue that McLaren have had this season. Same with Mercedes. We've had issues with Red Bull. Hadjar has outqualified Max. Max looks like he's on good form, but that's one race, and next week he finished P3 again. But it is his home track, so 9 times out of 10, 90% that he'll probably win it. We've had Antonelli. He's fast. We know he's got a very, very good car. Obviously the favourite of Mercedes. You know, we've got Lewis that is doing well in podiums, but penalties are really hurting him. We've got Charles. Just he gets there, but then he doesn't seem to have the pace to stay with the guys at the front.
No.
So you've got there's so many dynamics.
Pause. Time out. Pause. The only reason why Charles is as far back as he is, he's 30 points behind Lewis, and that's because of 2 DNFs that were car failures.
Yeah,
It is not Charles's fault. on those two.
No, I'm not saying it's Charles's fault. I'm saying that Charles can't stay with the front pack. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he doesn't seem to have the pace in that car to stay with them. They
Okay,
just
I can
overtake
understand
him.
that.
And I'm not saying he's not. I think Charles is a fantastic driver. I don't even say
You're
it,
saying
his
it's the
actual name
car's
is
issue.
Charles, not Charles. Yeah, but I also think Charles has had quite a long time in that Ferrari, and I still don't think he'll win a championship with that team. I just don't. I just can't see it.
My,
I think he needs to.
Alan looks like he's
Sorry?
got a sneeze.
nah, this is my hot take. Charles has never won a drivers' championship.
Oh,
No,
don't do
not
me
with
like
Ferrari.
that.
No, not in
with
general.
Ferrari.
You
Not
think
on
he'll
any
go
Not
down
with
as
Ferrari.
one of the greatest drivers to ever not win a championship?
But
Yeah,
what I'm saying is there's so many different drivers that have got so many strengths, but there's so many drivers in that as well that have got weaknesses as well. So it's all up in the air at the moment. Yes, Antonelli has won the most races, but anything can happen. And when you go to Zandvoort and he loses or has a DNF or anyone has a DNF or anything like that, you just don't know.
Here's my
You don't
extreme
know what's
take.
going to happen into that track.
If Max loses Zandvoort, he does not care anymore and he's out of the race for it because he's not going to be driving the same way. I think
Yeah.
Zandvoort is a big deal for Max. It'll be the last time that it's on the calendar for a long time. And it's his home race. He's already not happy with his car. If he does not win Zandvoort, or at least put in a fight for the win, I think he does not care. He checks out, and that's it for his season and his chances at another championship.
I think Max at the moment is just like he's just doing as normal. You know, he's just participating. He's trying to compete. You know, he knows it's been a shit season so far. He's not happy with the car. He's not happy with the regs. He's not happy with F1 in general. So
Is he
he's just
ever
doing his
happy?
normal days. Well,
Max
yes
has
and
always
no.
been the embodiment of the old man swinging his cane, yelling, "Get off my lawn!"
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I think also you've got to sometimes please those guys because they're the guys that bring in the sport. Those are the guys that bring in the money and everything like that. Yes, F1 is a big organization now in America, which is where it's gone. And end of the day, you've got to have those big sportsmen in the sport. It's the same with any sport. You know, you've got those leaders, you've got those guys that bring all the things in. He's a fantastic driver. He's young, but if you lose someone like that, you're going to lose someone massive to the sport.
I
Same with
agree.
Lewis, same with Alonso.
I
You
agree.
know, so you've got to reinvent the wheel, and also you've got to try and keep them happy as well at the same time. Yes, it's under regulated sport and all that, but then end of the day, if the guy's not enjoying it and basically thinks it's shit, they're not going to do it.
Correct. I
You
agree
know,
with that.
because end of the day, that's their job, and yes, they're getting paid thousands and thousands or whatever it is, and we know that he's got so much talent, but he's already came out and said, and so many others have said this season that it is just all about battery and who's got the fastest battery and who's got the most battery. Alonso said it. If you run out of battery, you're screwed. If you've got more battery, you do well.
Yeah,
That's it,
everybody has
you
said that,
know.
and I agree
And
with
then
that.
it's down, yeah, and then it's down to obviously the car then to be reliable. And the thing is, we always thought that yes, this battery and all this, and it's great and taking the MCU away, but there's been more unreliability issues this season with the battery than there has with the MCU last season. You know, you'd never see McLaren front championship winner last season not even take part in the first race of the season because of unreliability, and both of them being out next season. You wouldn't have seen that last season. You know, you'd have probably seen them have a fault 30, 40 laps in maybe or something like that, but you wouldn't have seen them not even make the grid. So there's a lot more that the guys have got to, you know, rely on, and the cars are the biggest one. And if there is unreliability on any of those cars, you just don't know whose it's going to be. And Ferraris could have theirs next. You know, yeah, at the moment, touch wood, they haven't had any issues, which is great. Pace is probably the issue that they've been struggling with as well. But they could be the next team, you know, to have issues. You just don't know. And going into a track like Zandvoort as well, it's a
Zandvoort's a
great
tough
track.
track.
Turn one, going to be interesting. Two cars going there. You then got your battery as well. You've got to understand because they've got to learn the battery on these tracks as well.
Well, also
And that's another thing.
keep in mind these cars have less downforce. We're not in the ground effect era, which means that the cars are not sucking to the ground, and you're going to a track that has change in elevation in corners. It's going to make it
Oh,
very
definitely.
interesting on how the grip is going to work. It's going to be very interesting to see how the racing goes and if there's going to be
Yeah.
any accidents because of that change of elevation, because of the less downforce, and because of the fact the car is not sucking to the ground from the ground effect era.
And how did Charles and Mercedes do last time
Let's
they were
not
here?
talk about that. That had me so mad last season.
Yeah,
Alan heard me rant
there you
about that for
go.
days.
So there you go. So that could be playing on their mind as well. There's a lot of things, and I still think it's still too early to say. And I think, uh, personally, my opinion is I don't think they should have done the regs this year. I think they should have done it next year. I think they should have given it a bit more time. It's a big thing you're changing.
I don't think the
It
regs
hasn't
would.
gone right.
I don't think it would have made a
I
difference
I,
when
I
you
think
changed them. I think
I,
they were going to be bad all the way
I do.
around.
No,
I
no,
do.
I do, because if you gave them another year of testing
They'd
and
have
everything, they
time.
probably would have better reliability.
I could see
Agreed.
that argument.
They would have built a bigger battery that would have saved more efficiency or whatever. Yeah, I personally think it's too early. I think they should have done it next year, but that's not the case. We're
I
in the
think the
sport. They're
FIA
doing
needs to
it.
be more consistent, and that's a big
I think the
argument
FA's a
also.
joke, mate. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I think some of the penalties that they give like that. I don't think they actually know what they're doing sometimes because it's the same within other sports like the VAR and football and things like that. They go for a hefty penalty on something which is an issue, but then I'm always going to go back to Monaco and then they say Perez and Magnussen and Hulkenberg is a racing incident. How the fuck can that be a racing incident when you've caused a red flag and the Haas has absolutely destroyed the Red Bull? They just it's so
And
inconsistent.
not even just
But then
that.
all of a sudden they give Huh?
To me, it's not even just that. It's you look at the beginning of the season. How much have they changed the regulation because people complain? But then, so I'm going to use this as an example because it drove me absolutely insane. Everybody, Fred goes, "Hey, we're going to have issues with the start. We're going to have issues with the start," and FIA goes, "Build your car around it." They build their car around it, have amazing starts. Nobody else does. Let's change the regulation to help these guys because they can't start a car. And now Ferrari is being punished essentially because they don't have the power that everybody else does because they prioritize the start. And how do you just do that? How do you tell one team build your car around it, then tell
See, now-
everybody else we're going to change to help you out?
Yeah, but see on that, I like the new start, the new starting lineup official. I like that. I like the
But
blue
why not
lights. I
fix it
like them
before?
revving it.
But
I
why-
like all that. But it's the penalties. It's inconsistent. Like there's a lot of forcing off track and giving and coming back on track and re-entering and stuff like that. And it's like these should be penalties.
I don't.
I
To
was
clarify,
quite surprised. Go on.
to clarify, I do not have the issue that they changed it. My issue is that when Fred goes, this is going to be an issue, they don't go ahead and change it then. Instead, they say, build your car around it. You build your car around it, and then they change it. That's my problem.
Yeah, for me, Monaco was the big one.
Oh, yeah,
For me,
that was
Monaco was the
terrible.
big one.
That whole thing was a
I don't
disaster.
understand, and that's just continued on. And
And-
it's like, if you go off track, right? The obviously from a league point of view, we have a situation where if you go off track and it's unsafe rejoin, it's a 5-second penalty, right? If you go off track and you overtake someone, you gain an advantage, you need to hand the position back. If you don't, it's a penalty unless you hand the position back. But for some reason, F1 in real life, I see cars go off track, regain the position, even though they've gone off track, which is unfair advantage, and still keep the position. I saw Antonelli do it twice in Austria, and no penalty was given. And you could see he went way off track, gain in the same spot, and was still in front of the Ferrari.
yeah, I can
Now
understand that.
that's dangerous. That's dangerous because they don't know where he has to come back clear or in a path of the straight. And the thing is with Austria, that straight, that turn 2, that's not straight. It goes up, left, then right, then straight, and then you go into the hairpin. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to be so. I just think you need to be more stricter. And I think if they be more stricter, it'll change the dynamics of the field. Drivers won't be doing the same thing. They'll be a little bit more cautious, and things like that. And I think that's where FIA need to really, really rethink of some of the penalty decisions they've done. Because the one they gave Lewis at Belgium, I agree with you. I don't think it, no way. Russell put his car in a position. Hamilton had no way of turning. He had a car to the right, a car to the left. Where the fuck's he going to go? In the gravel, in the wall?
And
So
then
he has
also
to turn the car.
in the same race, you
Do
have
you know what I mean?
basically the same incident with Charles and Lewis, and no penalty is given. But then you give you're inconsistent.
But the reasons they've given him the penalty is because they've DNF'd the car. And that's why they've looked at it. They've probably looked at the impact of George Russell's race. He's out of the race. They've got to give a big penalty.
And it should have
because
been
Lewis
based off the
Hamilton.
impact.
But no, but that's what people look at. It's the same in league racing. It's the same in stewarding. It's the same in everything.
Yeah.
People look at the impact and not the penalty. They don't look at the penalty. They go, right, this is the impact. We need to hefty look at it. But when you dissect it like Anthony Davidson does, and you look at the penalty situation, you go, right, George Russell's put his car in a position, right, where he's going to go wheel to wheel with Lewis. It's lap fucking 1. It is the worst corner you can possibly try to make a move because it's left, right, straight, then hairpin. It's so quick, right? And he's put his car in a position. Lewis has got no objection. He has to turn left because otherwise he slows down, he loses a position behind, and maybe gets rear-ended. So he has to turn. So Russell's put Lewis in the position that he has to do something. Otherwise, he's in trouble. And they've not looked at that. They've looked at that Lewis has turned in on Russell and he's DNF'd him. And that's the reasons why he's given the penalty. And that, to me, is wrong. You need to dissect it. They spend fucking time up there dissecting the incidents. Oh, it's under investigation and that. And then all of a sudden they go, oh, no investigation. And it's just, I just don't agree with it. I think it needs to be more strict. Dissect the fucking penalty and look at the penalty, not the impact. Penalty first, then look at the impact of what it's done to the race, to the driver's race.
Agreed. All right. So, due to time, do you have anything to add,
Does
Alan?
Alan agree though? Does Alan agree with that though? Does you
Yes.
agree? Does Alan agree? Thank you.
Does anybody have anything else to add, Alan? You've been quiet. You've been keeping quiet, or you just thinking, or like, what's going on?
No, I mean, it's been like 3 weeks. My F1 brain's been turned off.
That's fair. That's very
So
fair. We got racing next week. Next week we got Zandvoort. Hopefully the whole gang is here again because we are going to have some exciting talk if Lando fumbles it.
all
It's
right,
bad.
quick fire podium. Who y'all got?
Kimi, Lewis,
Of course.
and Max. I think Kimi, Lewis, Max. What order? I don't know.
Can I do something different?
Do whatever you want.
Lewis to get a penalty.
Okay.
No,
Get
I'm
out
gonna
of
go
here.
Max, Lando,
Max, Lando,
and Russell.
and Russell. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Didn't see that coming.
And
I
Aston
think
Martin top 10.
I agree with that.
Wow.
I think that's possible.
Mine would probably be the same. It'd probably be Max, but instead of Lando, it'd probably be Lewis and then Russell.
Y'all just
Oh,
think
fucking
Kimi is going to
course.
forget how to
Fucking
drive?
Lewis. You fucking Lewis fanatics.
Well, this
Lewis
isn't. No.
fanatics.
Hold on. This isn't like a Lewis fanatics thing. This is.
Do you follow Kim Kardashian?
You're just a Lewis hater at this point.
I'm not a Lewis hater. I'm not a Lewis hater at all. I'm not.
I mean, like
I'm
he's what?
speaking facts. I'm speaking facts, man.
Speaking
1, 2,
opinions.
3, 4, 5,
No,
6.
it's fact. He is not going to win another championship.
Okay, we'll see. People said that about Max last season, and then everybody got all up in a roar because he was 2 points off from being so far back. Just saying.
Yeah, but that's McLaren's fuck up.
You've been all over the place with your arguments.
No, because the thing is, that, like, you go back to it, right? And just before we all finish up, because it's been great, I've loved it. You look at the situation. He's 146 points back, right, from McLaren. They're in the driving seat, right? They're in the driver's seat of the constructors. Got 2 drivers, massive opportunity of winning a championship, right? Couldn't make their mind up on who the fuck was going to win it, right? No favoritism, just 1-1, basically. And that was the problem. And you saw it. You saw it in Coda when they both took each for, I think it was Piastri, or took fucking Lando out in turn
Oh
1.
my god! During
Coda?
the sprint race.
Oh,
You
yeah.
then saw Baku. Piastri spinned it in qualifying in the same spot and then the same spot in the race. You then look at Mexico. He went downward. You know, Lando just had unfortunate Vegas that just didn't go to plan.
No,
And
that
Max,
Vegas was a whole McLaren issue because both cars
there you
DNF'd
go.
due to
Again,
playing where.
see, McLaren, there you go. That you've answered your question. McLaren issue. You're
Yeah,
a team,
I
right?
agree.
You've got an opportunity to win a championship. You make the decision. There is no driver one, driver one. It's driver number one, driver number two. Someone gets number one, someone gets driver number two seat. That's how it works, right? It's the same when you're in a race. Whoever's in front has the opportunity to pit first or pit second. Same thing in a championship. They should have done that. They didn't do that. They fucked it up royally, and Max had the opportunity to win. And the only reason that they did not, Lando won the championship, is because Yuki double maneuvered on that straight. If he didn't double maneuver, he would have been fine. And then it would have been a penalty to Lando, and then Max would have won the title. But because Yuki double maneuvered on that main straight, that's the reasons why. And that is facts. Because in the rule
Fair
book
enough.
of FIA, you are not allowed to double maneuver
You know,
because Lando went off the track limits, which is a 10-second time penalty.
in defense of Yuki, everyone gave him shit for that for not being able to hold Lando up. But like that man literally broke the rules to try and hold him up, you know?
That is fair.
Like he literally
on that
double
note, ladies and
maneuvered
gentlemen-
to try to back off Lando.
And on that, mic drop.
Yeah.
Boom.
So with
I'm
that
out.
being said, if y'all have enjoyed the friendly argument that has been tonight, we will be doing this again next week after Zandvoort. A lot of predictions made. We'll see what comes true. So far, most of my predictions this season have been right. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
He's lying.
So go back and watch the first episodes.
Hang on.
But if you're not yet, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Twitch. Getting that figured out very soon once I have a little bit of time to figure out what's going on over there. Subscribe on YouTube and come hang out with us in Discord. We're having a lot more fun times. We're doing a lot more TikTok lives, so you can catch us there as well. And I'll try to get more clips out again on TikTok. Been kind of slacking the past couple weeks, and I'm sorry for that. Life has been busy. Do y'all have anything to add?
Lewis is gonna
Nope.
win.
Good to see you guys. Thank you very much for the time. Really appreciate it. It's been a very, very fun podcast. And yeah, look forward to seeing what happens in Zandvoort. And good to see some F1 back.
Agreed.
Thank God.
Everybody,
3
have
weeks has been
it's
boring.
been for the birds. Everybody, have a great week. We'll see y'all next week.
Toodaloo.
Toodles.